Gotta rev it up and drive. Okay. Now, got fast cars, beautiful women, techno rap music, crazy stunts, action, some gunplay. Of course, both films are fast and there's fury. But there's something a little off. Gone in 60 Seconds doesn't really have much in common with Fast and the Furious. Other than fast cars, a gang, and running from the law. Though Gone in 60 Seconds is worthy of being in this showdown because there's a lot more cars and more fury. Because all the fury and the fast pace wouldn't have had its influence without Duel. Of course, Duel won't have its chase concept without Bullet, which has a Mustang and a Dodge Charger. And what does Gone in 60 Seconds have? A Mustang. And we've got a Dodge Charger. And what's that? A truck. Which happens to be a Peterbilt. Just like the Duel truck. And doesn't that truck look familiar? Like the truck in these two movies? So we got a big bad Peterbilt driven by a serial killer. And it's accepted that the truck driver in Duel is a serial killer. And the truck driver in The Fast and the Furious, he's packing a shotgun. And you don't see his face. Just a little bit and blurred, like in Duel and Roadkill. So these movies are all very similar because most of them have a truck, cars. You know, Roadkill has a Valiant, Duel has a Valiant. Of course, Fast and Furious, it's the orange Supra, but it's going head to head with a truck, just like Duel, Roadkill, and Breakdown. So, what is it about Peterbilt trucks used in these movies? It's a great brand, and they're iconic, but Roadkill and Breakdown more or less have the same truck as Fast and the Furious. Now, Breakdown came out in 97. These two in 2001. Now, that's a fair bit of time to repair a truck. To say that truck driver is like a friend of Red Bar from Roadkill. Like, it couldn't be his son, unless his son got a growth spurt. And speaking of sons, they're brothers. And David Mann and Jill had two sons. So, you could say they're David Mann's sons. And the truck driver of Jill is Rusty Nail. See, you can go so deep, you can go so fast and get furious about this. Now, I'm getting to the vanishing point. classic 70s car film. It got a remake in 97. It's got a Dodge Challenger and a Dodge Charger, just like in Death Proof. And also like in Death Proof, there's a Mustang and beautiful women. It's got more classic rock and roll than rap, but it's got fast and furious car action, just like all of them. And now you're probably on the edge of your seat going, "Hey, Scary, you're forgetting that other movie." What, Point Break? Which has a Mustang? Is about a undercover cop infiltrating a gang that steals but mistakes that gang for another gang, which the cop raids their hideout. And that cop gets with the main girl. And then at the end, the main guy challenges him, but is left to have one last ride. In Point Break's case, it's the Wave. In the Fast and the Furious, he lets him walk after one last drive. Keanu Reeves drives a Mustang in another set of films, John Wick. So, did Johnny Utah, or Utah, I should say, Johnny Utah, did he become John Wick? Characters are basically the same. You know, a former Forsaken agent. Johnny likely got forsaken after he let Bodhi go. Brian was forsaken for letting Dominic go. They were gone in 60 seconds. They were too fast because they were furious. They had a duel. The cars ended up roadkill. They were on the point of braking. Yet some cars in those series are death proof. You know, they vanished. They made their point and vanished. There's trucks in Too Fast, Too Furious. They're all getting mad to the max. Well, was this series born to... Yes, I'll get to the Bourne series and John Wick. But all of these, and Vanishing Point, and Bullet, Mustangs, Dodge Chargers, Dodge Challengers, trucks, saving your girlfriend, saving your wife, fighting with your best friend. You know, likely sequel, spiritual successor. You know, Point Break did get a remake. It was terrible, like many. But, and here's the 1950s, The Fast and the Furious. So, the modern Fast and the Furious is a remake of that 50s in name only, but many see it as a rework of Point Break. The Fast and the Furious is a good film. It's more or less identical, so in one hand it is a remake, in another it's a spiritual successor. And Johnny Utah can be seen as John Wick. And wow. Yep. Hope you got all that in. Cause yeah, I'm hungry for some pie. But I gotta go on a road trip. Scared you?